She said we should see other people, but didn't expect me to move on first until she saw my engagement announcement online, while she was still trying to figure things out. My girlfriend, let's call her Sarah, and I had been together for about 5 years. We met during our college days at the University of Chicago. She was pursuing a degree in art history, immersing herself in courses that delved into visual analysis and interpretation of historical sources. I was deeply involved in computer science, spending countless hours coding and working on software projects. Despite our differing academic pursuits, we found common ground in our love for the city's vibrant culture and our shared dreams for the future. After graduation, we decided to stay in Chicago. Sarah secured a position at the Art Institute of Chicago, a place she had always admired. She was thrilled to be part of such a renowned institution, contributing to its mission of preserving and showcasing art. I landed a job with a tech startup in the Loop, diving headfirst into the fast-paced world of software development. Our relationship had its ups and downs, like any other, but I always believed we had a strong foundation. We moved into a cozy apartment in Lincoln Park, decorating it with art pieces Sarah adored and tech gadgets I couldn't live without. Weekends were often spent exploring the city's neighborhoods, trying out new restaurants, or attending local events. About 6 months ago, I began to notice subtle changes in Sarah's behavior. She started coming home later than usual, often citing late meetings at the museum. While I understood that her job could be demanding, the frequency of these late nights increased. Our conversations became more surface level, lacking the depth and connection we once shared. Intimacy dwindled, and there was a palpable distance growing between us. Concerned, I decided to address the issue. One evening, as we sat on our balcony overlooking the city, I gently asked her if everything was all right. She sighed, avoiding eye contact, and assured me that work had been overwhelming. She mentioned new exhibitions and additional responsibilities that were consuming her time and energy. I wanted to believe her, but a nagging feeling told me there was more to it. Then came the night that changed everything. We had planned a dinner at our favorite spot, Lou Malnati's Pizzeria in Lincolnwood. This place held sentimental value for us. It was where we celebrated anniversaries and special occasions. As we sat in our usual booth, the aroma of deep dish pizza filling the air, Sarah seemed unusually quiet. Halfway through our meal, she put down her fork, took a deep breath, and said, "I think we should see other people." Her words hit me like a freight train. I was blindsided. The clatter of dishes and chatter of other patrons faded into the background as I tried to process what she had just said. She explained that she felt we had become too comfortable, that our relationship had settled into a routine that left her feeling stagnant. She expressed a need to figure things out, to explore her own identity outside of our relationship. I was devastated. The woman I had envisioned a future with was now suggesting we part ways, not because of any specific issue, but because she felt lost. I asked her if there was someone else. She hesitated for a moment before shaking her head. "No, it's not about another person. It's about me needing space to understand myself better," she said. Despite the pain, I nodded, wanting to respect her feelings. We agreed to take a break, to give each other the space she felt she needed. The following weeks were some of the hardest of my life. Our apartment felt emptier, the silence more profound. I immersed myself in work, taking on extra projects to keep my mind occupied. Nights were the worst. Lying in bed alone, memories of our time together replayed in my mind. Noticing my withdrawal, my friends became concerned. One evening, my best friend Mike invited me over for a drink. As we sat in his living room, he broached the subject. "Listen, I know you're going through a tough time, but isolating yourself isn't the answer. Why don't you join us for a weekend getaway to Lake Geneva? A change of scenery might do you good." At first, I was hesitant. The idea of socializing, of pretending to be okay, seemed exhausting. But Mike was persistent. He reminded me of the times we used to take spontaneous trips during college, how those adventures always lifted our spirits. Reluctantly, I agreed. The following Friday, we packed our bags and headed to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. The drive was filled with nostalgic stories and laughter, a welcome distraction from my recent heartache. Upon arrival, we checked into a cozy lakeside cabin. The serene environment, with its clear waters and lush greenery, was a stark contrast to the bustling city we had left behind. On our first evening, we decided to explore the local scene. Mike had heard about a popular spot called the Dancing Horses Theater, known for its unique performances. Intrigued, we made our way there. The show was mesmerizing, a blend of equestrian artistry and theatrical flair. For the first time in weeks, I felt a genuine smile creep onto my face. After the show, we headed to a nearby bar to unwind. As we sipped our drinks, a group of people entered, their laughter and energy filling the room. Among them was a woman who immediately caught my attention. She had an infectious smile, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Mike noticed my gaze and nudged me. "Go talk to her," he encouraged. I hesitated, the weight of my recent breakup still fresh. But something about her drew me in. Gathering my courage, I approached her. "Hi, I'm Jake." I introduced myself, offering a tentative smile. She returned the smile, extending her hand. "Emily," she replied. "Nice to meet you." We began talking, and I quickly discovered that Emily was vibrant and full of life. She was a travel blogger, always on the move, seeking new adventures. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on topics ranging from favorite travel destinations to shared hobbies. We both loved hiking, and she mentioned her plans to explore the Geneva Lakeshore path the next morning. Would you like to join me? She asked, her eyes hopeful. I hesitated for a moment, then nodded. I'd love to. The next morning, we met early and set out on the trail. The path offered breathtaking views of the lake, with historic estates lining the shore. As we walked, we shared stories, laughed, and enjoyed the tranquility of nature. The hours flew by, and by the time we returned, I felt a connection with Emily that I hadn't expected. Over the next few weeks, Emily and I kept in touch. She returned to Chicago for a project, and we began spending more time together. She introduced me to new experiences, like salsa dancing at Alhambra Palace and discovering hidden jazz clubs in the South Loop. For the first time in months, I felt a renewed sense of joy and excitement. 3 months after Sarah and I had our break, Emily and I decided to make our relationship official. It felt right. She was supportive, understanding, and brought out the best in me. One evening, as we watched the sunset from the Adler Planetarium steps, I realized how much she meant to me. That evening, sitting there with her hand in mine, the orange glow of the setting sun reflecting in her eyes. I'd been through so much confusion, heartbreak, self-doubt. But with Emily, things felt calm and exciting at the same time. So without overthinking it, I pulled out the small ring I'd been carrying for a few days. Nothing too flashy, just something that felt real. I asked her to marry me. She blinked twice. Then she smiled, nodded, and pulled me into the kind of hug that makes you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. We announced our engagement the next day. I posted a simple photo, her hand in mine, the ring visible, both of us laughing like idiots on Navy Pier. The caption just said, "New chapter." I didn't expect anything dramatic. Most people congratulated us, friends commented, relatives shared heart emojis and asked when the wedding was. It was all normal until I saw a notification from someone I hadn't thought about in weeks. Sarah. She messaged me. Simple. Just 4 words. Can we please talk? I stared at it. I hadn't spoken to her since the break. She was the one who walked away. I was the one left to clean up my heart. I waited a full day before replying, and when I finally did, all I said was, "About what?" She sent back a wall of text. She had seen the post. She was shocked. She was hurting. She said she didn't realize how much I meant to her until she saw someone else holding the place she used to hold. She admitted that she had started casually dating someone shortly after our break, but it didn't feel right. Said it made her realize she wasn't ready to lose me. She thought we were just on a pause, that we'd find our way back. She said she still loved me. I didn't know how to respond. I felt sick reading her words. Part of me was furious. She had her chance. She threw it away. But another part of me remembered the years. Remembered the apartment in Lincoln Park, the trips, the nights studying in the library, the soft way she used to touch my hair when I was stressed. I didn't know how to erase 5 years just like that. And clearly, she hadn't either. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her. Just to talk. We picked a neutral spot, an old coffee shop in Wicker Park we used to go to when we first started dating. She walked in wearing the green scarf I gave her 3 Christmases ago. She looked tired. Not bad, just like she hadn't been sleeping right. Her eyes looked watery the whole time. She didn't waste time. Said she was sorry. Said she didn't expect me to move on that fast. That she thought I would wait. That seeing me happy without her made something snap inside her. I told her the truth. That I had waited. That I went through hell when she left. That I had to rebuild myself from the bottom up. I told her about the nights I couldn't sleep, the way I'd reread our texts, wondering what I did wrong. I told her I hated her for a while. I told her I cried. She did too. And then she asked me something I didn't expect. She asked me to call off the engagement. I just stared at her. She said she knew she was late. She knew she messed up, but she wanted one more chance. She said she would do anything. Go to therapy. Talk it out. Move slow. Fast. Whatever I needed. I left the coffee shop without saying a word. I couldn't even breathe properly. I walked all the way home. I didn't tell Emily about the meeting. Not right away. I kept trying to find the words. I kept trying to decide if it was relevant. I wasn't going back to Sarah. I knew that. But part of me didn't understand how I could still feel that much pain about someone I was supposedly done with. I told myself it would fade. But it didn't fade. It got worse. A week later, I got a message from a mutual friend of Sarah's. He said he thought I should know something. Apparently, Sarah had been seeing someone seriously during our break. Not just casually. Like, stay over for weekend serious. The same guy she said didn't mean anything. She had told him she was single. Had even gone to a wedding with him as her plus one. That friend said the guy had found out about me and confronted her. She told him it was just complicated, that she still loved her ex, that it was a mistake. The guy apparently stormed out, and 2 days later she messaged me. So she didn't come to me out of clarity or healing. She came because her other option vanished. Now I was really furious. I felt stupid for even meeting her. I felt guilty for keeping that meeting from Emily. I felt like I was being dragged into a mess I didn't ask for, all over again. And then Emily found out. She saw the name Sarah pop up on my phone while we were out buying groceries. I guess the contact still hadn't been deleted. She didn't say anything right away, just glanced. But later that night, while we were brushing our teeth, she asked me, "Are you still talking to Sarah?" I froze. My heart dropped into my stomach. I told her about the message, about the coffee shop, about the confession, about all of it. She listened, didn't interrupt once. Then she asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" I had no answer that made sense. I said I didn't want to ruin what we had. I said I didn't think it was worth bringing up since I wasn't going back to her. Emily just nodded, said she needed space, packed a small overnight bag, and went to stay at her sister's place in Logan Square. That was 4 days ago. I don't know what to do. I haven't heard from Emily since. Sarah keeps texting. Says she heard Emily left. Asked if I'm okay. Asked if I want to talk. And me? I'm sitting here in our apartment, staring at a half-empty closet and a wedding invitation draft still sitting open on my laptop. I don't know who I'm angry at anymore. Sarah? Myself? Life? Everything feels like it's falling apart again. And I'm scared this time I won't be able to put it back together. 2 days after Emily left, I came home from work and noticed something odd. The door wasn't locked. I live in Chicago. You don't forget to lock your door. At first, I thought maybe I had been in a hurry. Maybe I was distracted. But when I stepped inside, there were subtle signs something was off. My jacket was moved. The drawer where I kept my personal letters was slightly open. A framed photo of Emily and me at the Lincoln Park Conservatory was on the floor. Not broken, just deliberately placed face down. I stood there for a while, trying to understand if I was overthinking it. Maybe Emily had come back to grab something. Maybe I left it like that. But my gut told me otherwise. Still, I tried to shake it off. I locked the door behind me and went about the night. The next morning, I got a message from Sarah. "We need to talk. Urgent." I ignored it. An hour later, I got a call from her. I didn't pick up. She called again, then texted, "I'm sorry. You're going to hear things." I panicked. Now I was nervous. What did she mean? I finally picked up the phone. Her voice was shaky. I did something really stupid. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I asked her to explain. She started crying. Said after our coffee shop meeting, she had a breakdown. She couldn't accept that I had moved on. Said she drove past my place one night and saw me and Emily through the window. Said it broke her. She admitted she had used the spare key she still had to come in when I wasn't home, to look around, to try and remember. I asked her flat out, "Did you move anything?" She said yes. She had read the letter Emily wrote me a while back, the one I kept in the drawer. A simple handwritten note about our first weekend trip. Emily had poured her heart into it. Sarah read it. And according to her, she ripped it up. That was when I lost it. I didn't yell. I didn't swear. I just said one thing. "You crossed the line." She begged me not to report her. She said she was spiraling, that she didn't have anyone to talk to. She was going to therapy now. She realized what she did was wrong. Said she'd pay for damages, for new locks. Anything. Just please, don't hate her. I hung up. I changed the locks that night. And then, the next morning, a worse twist came. Emily's sister, Bianca, called me. "Jake, I need to ask you something. Did you tell Sarah anything about Emily's family?" I was confused. "No, why?" Bianca said Sarah had messaged Emily's younger brother on Instagram. Asked him if Emily ever mentioned being unsure about the engagement. Tried to act casual, but it was invasive. She messaged Bianca too, pretending to clear the air. Said she wanted to apologize and wish us well. Bianca told her to back off, but she didn't. Now Emily's entire family knew what happened. About the coffee shop. About the messages. About the unlocked door. Emily hadn't responded to me yet. I sent one more message. "I love you. I messed up. I should have told you everything right away. Please let's talk." Still nothing. Then one evening, 3 days later, my phone buzzed. It was a number I didn't recognize. A message that said, "You should really watch your back. People talk." That's it. No name. No context. I sat there, phone in hand, heart racing. I called the number. Disconnected. I don't know if it was Sarah. I don't know if it was someone else. But that message changed something in me. This wasn't just about love anymore. Something darker was crawling under the surface. And I wasn't sure how deep it was going to go. That message, "You should really watch your back. People talk," stayed in my head like a siren I couldn't shut off. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. Every creak in the apartment felt like something coming loose. I replayed everything in my head. Sarah's breakdown, the secret meeting, Emily leaving, the silence, the destruction of the letter. It all boiled over until one thing became clear. This couldn't go on quietly anymore. I texted Emily. Told her we needed to talk face to face. No more dodging. No more silence. If she wanted to scream at me, I'd take it. If she never wanted to see me again, fine. But I needed her to hear me. She responded a few hours later. "Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Bianca's place." I showed up early. Bianca let me in, but didn't say much. Just offered me tea and sat down on the couch like she was preparing to watch a courtroom drama. A few minutes later, Emily walked in. She looked different. Stronger, somehow. Like she'd cried all the tears already and was down to pure steel. She sat down, didn't smile, didn't say hi. I started. Told her everything. The coffee shop. The texts. The feeling of confusion. The guilt. The torn letter. The creepy message. The fact that I'd changed the locks. The truth about Sarah's manipulation. She listened, completely silent. Then she said something I wasn't ready for. "I know about the kiss." My heart stopped. What kiss? You kissed her, Jake. You didn't think she'd tell me that too. I stood up, jaw clenched. That's not true. I didn't kiss her. She tried to. I backed off. Ask her. I did, Emily said calmly. And she said you kissed her back for just a second before pulling away. That it was confusing. That you still had feelings. I shook my head. No, that's not what happened. She leaned in. I pulled back. I told her it was over. She cried. That was it. So she lied. Emily asked. Yes. Or twisted it. Or wanted it to be true. Bianca stood up then. Enough. This is getting out of hand. Emily, you've been spiraling over this for days. You don't even know what's real anymore. Emily snapped. And whose fault is that? He hid things from me. He lied by omission. I felt the heat rise. You think I wanted this mess? You think I planned for my ex to break into my apartment and destroy our stuff? You think I enjoy feeling like I was losing my mind all over again? Emily broke then. Her voice cracked. I wanted to marry you. I saw us having a future. And suddenly, I'm the one walking away with everything broken because your past couldn't let you go. And you couldn't shut the door. I did shut the door, I said quietly. She just picked the lock. Silence. Bianca looked between us. You both need to decide something tonight. Not later. Not someday. Right now. Emily looked at me. Eyes red. Do you still love her? It was the most painful question anyone had ever asked me. And I answered, no. But I still feel something. It's not love. It's not desire. It's grief. For what she ruined. Emily exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for hours. Then you're not ready. Not for me. Not for us. She got up. Walked to the door. I didn't follow. Bianca walked out after her, giving me one last look. I don't know if it was pity or understanding. I sat in that apartment alone for a long time. The next day, I got a final message from Sarah. I'm sorry. I lied. I told Emily we kissed. I hoped it would scare her off. I never stopped loving you. I didn't know what else to do. I blocked her number. A week passed. Then 2. The wedding invitations were shredded and tossed out. The ring was returned. I stayed off social media. Focused on therapy. On cleaning. On finding pieces of myself that didn't belong to either woman. Mike came by a few times. Said, man, you need to go outside before you turn into a ghost. Eventually, I did. I saw Emily once more. Just walking along the lake. We nodded at each other. No words. Just a sad kind of peace. We didn't get back together. She moved on. I heard through a mutual friend she's dating someone new now. Seems happy. And me? I'm okay. Not great. But okay. What did I learn? That people lie to avoid pain, even if it causes more of it. That love is not always enough. That closure doesn't always look like forgiveness or reunion. Sometimes, it looks like letting go. We didn't end up together. There was no grand apology, no last-minute change of heart. Just silence, distance, and slow healing. And for once, that felt like enough.